Hi and welcome to this week's episode of Magoos Corner. I'm your host Trevor Gregg, and we thank our sponsors and of course the Portland Hotel for letting us to record the episode live here in Port Adelaide. So let's have a look at Division 4 reserves this week, and we'll look at the current ladder and where everybody stands. So Salisbury, powerhouse, in first position at the moment with 6 wins, no losses. Almost everybody's gone through the bye. Westminster and Kenilworth are the only ones not to have the bye yet. Hope Valley, Easton Park sitting in second on 4 and 2, very, very close, only 2% difference. We've got Westminster and Edwardstown 4th and 5th. Edwardstown settling in nicely in Division 4. I know that they're doing really well in their A grade. Paraka 3 and 3, Kenilworth Gardens in 7th, North Haven, which is again it's a shock, 1 and 5, and Kenilworth the only ones below. On no wins, 7 losses, 644 points in the negative. So it's North Haven's a shock. Can't deny that. With the talent that they've been able to recruit, pushing guys down, it's just not happening out there at the moment. But hopefully that does turn around for them. Let's have a look at the first game. Easton Park went to Hope Valley Oval to take on the Demons, and Hope Valley 11-11, 77. Going down by 2 points to Easton Park, 12-7, 79. So that's a nice result away from home for Easton Park. In the first quarter, Easton Park got away quite convincingly, 5-2 to 1-3 Hope Valley, and then Hope Valley came back, kicking 4 in the second. Only a couple in the third quarter, Easton Park kicking away a little bit with 4 goals 4, and then in the last quarter, Hope Valley came back, kicking 4 goals 6. 4 goals 6 in the last quarter to Easton Park's 1 goal 1. So inaccurate in front of the big sticks, Hope Valley, which is probably one of the reasons why they lost. Yeah, unfortunately for them, Easton Park getting the job done. Vozo with 4, Pepper with a couple, and Shepardson, and a whole bunch of others keep chipping in with 1 apiece. Walker, Riddle and Arts were the better players. And for Easton Park, Day with 4, Peter with 3, and Banks with a couple. Clements, Brooks and Jason Day got in the better players. So one that got away from Hope Valley, and considering where they're sitting at the moment, we've got to try and get as much as they can to stay close to Salisbury. Next game, Edwardstown went to Kenilworth, so not too far down the road, and it was 12-10-82 Edwardstown to the Kenilworth, 6-13-49, so a little bit inaccurate for both sides. Roberts, Simmering and Mabley were the goal scorers. Hendry, Mabley and DeBono were the best players for Kenilworth. So looking at that, Kenilworth only kicking 5 points in the first quarter, kicking 1 goal 1 in the second, whereas Edwardstown came out kicking 3, then kicking 5. So it was pretty much all over by half time. And you know, Edwardstown sort of went a little bit quieter, took the foot off, I would suggest, only kicking a couple of goals. Kenilworth kicking 4 goals 7, I think it is. So might have been a different result if they'd have kicked a little bit straighter, but unfortunately no good. With Davis with 3, Rosenswig with a couple, May with a couple also, Lynch to Donate, Baker, Rosenswig and Burford were the better players for the Townies. Now the next game, Battle of the Magpies, Salisbury and North Haven. Now you have a look at some of the names that are in the North Haven side. Don't think that they had all of their players available, because it looks like they only had 20 on the team sheet. Still got some good names there, mind you, but unfortunately 3 goals 4-22 going into Salisbury Oval, taking on Salisbury Magpies for 11 goals 7-73. So a 51 point loss there to North Haven, so it's a long drive to cop that sort of loss. Hernman with 4, Caruso with 3 and Douglas. We have Herman, Lisk and Caruso as 3 of the better players on the day. Jossie Frank, Landry and Chrissy Gordon were the goal scorers for North Haven, with McCall, Gurn, Trent Colby, Bettridge and Lee as the best players for North Haven. So trouble times out there at North Haven at the moment. Westminster, last game of the round, hosted Kenilworth Gardens at Tilbrook, and it was Westminster just getting over the line, 10 goals 7-67, Kenilworth 8-12, 60. So again, another game that got away due to inaccurate kicking. Kenilworth getting away in the beginning, 2 goals 4, and then it just sort of waned off a little bit. So it was just a game that just steadily increased. Westminster getting a little bit more out of it from the second and third quarters. Only 2 points kicked in the third quarter, and then obviously Westminster getting away in the last. So Kenilworth kicking 1 goal 4, whereas Westminster kicked 3 goals 1. So there's the difference. Gormley with 3, Anderson and Richardson with a couple, and the better players were Marker, Getty and Rue. And for Colonel Light, Ramsey with 4, Snell with a couple and Steph, and the best players were Ramsey, Atwood and Neems. So let's have a look at what's happening next week in round 8 for Division 4. Edwardstown host Easton Park, so that's going to be a fair drive. But looking at the way things sit at the moment, Easton Park sitting in 3rd position, Edwardstown in 5th. The main differences is obviously the wins, but I think the percentage wise, I think Edwardstown are going to be too strong. They're fitting in well and they'll get a win. At home, North Haven and Paraka. Paraka sitting currently in 6th position, North Haven in 8th. They haven't been too convincing in front of the sticks either, North Haven. But for me, Largs, North Reserve, Lippo will give everything he's got for his boys in the A grade to go through, and then it'll just transfer down. I don't think... I'm going to change my tip. I'm going to say Paraka will win away from home, but happily be proven wrong. But yeah, Paraka for me. Colonel Light Gardens at Mortlock Park hosting Kenilworth. For me, I think it's again another long year for Kenilworth. Colonel Light Gardens not doing as well, but Colonel Light for me at Mortlock. Salisbury and Hope Valley. This one's going to be a cracking game. First versus second. We've seen from the results from last week, but at Salisbury Oval. Big oval, I would say Salisbury, and Westminster have the bye. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the SA Footballer magazine, and we'll catch you again next week.